Hello everybody, this is George with Moldings Automotive. This video I would like to show you how you could do a quick visual inspection of a vehicle when you're trying to buy it. This video is specifically dedicated to buying a salvage vehicle, and if you don't know what to really look for, this is a perfect example. Somebody bought this vehicle or about to buy it. They already gave the deposit to the seller, and they brought it in because they know we specialize in Honda, Acura, and they brought it into our shop to get this vehicle inspected. So I'm gonna kind of walk you through it. I already see like 100 things wrong with it, and I'm gonna kind of walk you through it. Some of the things that you could quickly spot even before you try to buy it or give the deposit, because a lot of dealers will not refund your deposit. So here are some very quick things that are wrong with the vehicle, and I'm gonna take you and show you that right away. First, when you buy this vehicle, you always want to ask where the car was hurt. There's nothing wrong with buying salvage vehicles. We fix hundreds of vehicles a year, and I'll be honest with you, we haven't had any comebacks since we started in this country. But this is one of the, I'm not gonna name the body shop's name. They're not really too far from us. But here's what's going on. Number one. Well, number one's inside a car, obviously, the airbag light on. And I'm going to go ahead and start the car and show you the airbag light on. So this will tell you right away there's an issue. So as you can see, the airbag light on. It should go off, but it's not going off. So the airbag light on, we have a couple issues. There's a slide door issue. There's check engine light and traction control. That's most likely the same. The vehicle only has 4,800 miles. So we know for sure there's a fault in the airbag system. Now I'm going to take you outside the vehicle and just show you some things. It hasn't been buffed, hasn't been nothing. So this is a 2014 Honda Odyssey. And I don't know if you understand or not, but the front end they installed from an older Odyssey, 2011 through 2013, had a different front end, even though it looks the same. But if you look at the grill's supposed to be black, okay? The headlight's supposed to have black inserts inside, and the bumper cover is the same, except they did install correct grill, which is on the bottom. As you can see, it's a correct grill. Second thing, these parts are steel. Hood, fender is steel. It's supposed to be aluminum, even though it's the same looking, but honestly it's not. The headlights have a little different shape. As you can see, the corner, this is from an older vehicle. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the hood and show you that even though it looks the same, but this is completely different front end. So I'm gonna open the hood and show you how it looks underneath. Next, you will notice the belt I already pulled, because there's obviously issues. They want me to see what's going on with it. But the hood prop rod is absolutely loose. Actually, look, it came right out. It's not secured where it's supposed to be secured. I'm gonna put it right back and pop the hood open. I'm gonna use, okay. Second thing that I'm gonna grab my light and kind of show you. As you can see, hood it's kind of shining because I have my light on it, but there's no clear coat on it whatsoever. Second, if you could see, can you see how striker is pushed to the left? That's because the whole front end needs to be straightened out. As you could see here, what they did, you can see that's almost, the whole front end is off by about an inch. You can see they bore out the holes and they just bolted it down. Okay, this side also is the same way. All right, so basically the whole front end needs to be pulled. If you pulled right, because I'm standing in the front of the vehicle, but if you're sitting inside the vehicle, it needs to be pulled left. So I mean, it's not within the specs. Next is look at the wheel spacing. Look how if you look at the wheel, you could see the wheel's actually sitting, the caster on the vehicle, you can see it's really negative. It's the one side you could stick your hand and you could see how it's messed up. I mean, you could put your hand right in there, and then here you can only put 2 fingers. That should be centered, and it's not centered. Next, it's actually missing a rocker panel moldings. If you look, they're supposed to be plastic rocker panel moldings, and they're not there, okay? And now we're gonna get into the motor. I'm actually gonna show you some things in the motor. So, let me get my lights here. I got my light actually quitting on me, but hold on a second. Okay, I got my light back and working. But you could see ignition coil packs. This one's busted. This one's also, you can see it's cracked. This one you can see at the harness. And this is ready to be sold vehicle. And then look at the oil pressure switch. This stuff is usually gets covered up. This stuff usually gets covered up with engine cover. I'll show you that in a second. Hold on. Next major thing is looking at this frame rail. I took it apart and they actually covered it up. They did a pretty good job covering it up with the fender inner liner. But you could see right here, the frame rail has a crack in it. That should have been welded up at least. So that hasn't been done. Also, let me put some light on the throttle body. Hold on a second. Alright, as you can see, the hose is absolutely, it's not secured, so that would cause also check engine light come on. And then throttle position sensor right here, you can see it's all busted off. So before you buy a salvage vehicle, have it inspected by somebody you trust. So I got the car jacked up, and obviously there was a whole bunch of lights, and the customer wanted me to look at that. And I noticed a few other issues. As you could see, this giant kink in this upper apron area here. And as I already showed you, I mean, you cannot do that. And this is what happens when you have a body shop that's trying to Mickey Mouse stuff together. They do this kind of work and screw up the name of Salvage for salvage rebuilders, and people are scared of buying cars. Imagine this person who bought this car, he's in a lot of repairs here. I mean, they're so improper. I'm actually changing oil on this thing right now, and I'm gonna replace serpentine belt, because this thing, I have no idea how he even drove it here. As you can see, all the coil packs broken. This is what wiring harnesses look like. Okay, I will replace those for him. This one looks just the same way. Look at this one. This one for the oil pressure switch. Of course, you know, if things are not being repaired properly, you're gonna have this kind of stuff. So the guy who sold this, I had no idea what kind of conscience he has. I don't know. And then when I was getting other look at this van, I don't know, how could you not notice these moldings are just basically just sitting under this rubber seal here. I mean, it's not secured, there's no clips. So I am very sad to see that body shops actually do this kind of stuff, because it definitely screws up the reputation of salvage vehicles, and it does screw up reputation. And for hard-working body shops that perform repairs correctly, it screws up the name for everybody. Nobody wants to buy salvage vehicles because of a clown like this, who just went ahead and just kind of threw this thing together. I mean, with improper parts, and sold this car. Took a $500 deposit, and the guy brought it for inspection. I called him. He says he's not going to be getting his deposit back. He's actually either going to have all the stuff repaired, or have the other guy pay for all the stuff to get repaired. So far we went ahead and replaced a couple things on it. Now I'm going to replace all the plugs that are broken, and I'm going to put a new serpentine belt. I also replaced the idler pulley, because that thing was just shot. It was making so much noise when he got here. Also the oil filter, I'm going to try to see if I could show it to you, was also messed up. It was actually leaking oil, and my oil filter's inside the pan. I have no idea how in the world you could do such a thing. That's how you do a salvage inspections. Those are the tips to look for on the vehicle just before you buy it. If you see a couple of the major things that are wrong, run from it. Don't give the deposit because you're probably not going to get it back. Thanks for watching. This was George with Moldings Automotive.